A lovely Sunday morning, my friends, my guys, my gals, and my non-binary pals. It is 9 o'clock. I have slept in. I know, scandalous behavior of me on this here Tour de Fleece. While I want to get started with plying. Got some protection because I don't want my skirt to get dirty again. Let's make this third skein in this here third vlog. So as I have shown you on Sunday, this is where we're at. And yes, this is much fuller than this one, but that is my plan. I hope that this also has enough yarn on it to last me at least a bit of the next fiber bump, my next ball of roving, because I only have one left. I had 7 and there's only one left. And it is an extremely sunny Sunday at that. For my province, we're currently entering the 3rd heat wave of the year. First one was in May, second one in June, and here we have one in July. Yeah, and that leads me to one of the questions that was being asked in the comment section. Any tips to prevent fiber felting in your hands when you're sweating? And I have never encountered such a thing as fiber felting in my hands during spinning. That could have 2 possible explanations, and one might be an actual tip. So, firstly, I think I mostly use sheep breeds that don't felt easily, like down breeds, but also like the medium wools, the Flemish sheep and stuff. I don't think they felt really easily. And secondly, when it gets hot and sweaty, I get dyshidrotic eczema on my fingers. Now, what do I have to use to combat that dyshidrotic eczema is deodorant cream. I rub deodorant cream on my hands every day when it's sunny and sweaty weather so that my hands would dry out and don't sweat. I don't know if this is like a tip to combat the felting, but I also don't know if it isn't a tip to combat the felting. You know, sometimes my weird medical stuff might help other people. I know, it sounded a little bit silly to mention 3 heat waves and then continue on talking about how to prevent your hands from sweating. Well, we've got like bigger problems on our hands, like Northern Hemisphere. Are we okay? No, we're not. At least I know that when I'm talking to you all, you're all so deep into the fiber arts niche. You know, you're watching someone spin every day. That's a ridiculous thing to do, actually. No, but I know that you're so deep into the fiber arts niche that I know that you all are trying to combat climate change at least a little bit, just by being a fiber artist, by making clothes yourselves, you know, those kind of things. I personally also try to go by bike as many times as I can, and we eat a flexitarian diet, so multiple days, no meat. Are there many other things I could be doing? Sure, we still have 2 cars, we still live in a very big house, we live the luxurious European life. That is a thing that is just pollutant in and of itself. But like taking those little steps to take my own responsibility in this climate change thing makes me feel like I am a little bit in control of my climate anxiety. And for all the rest, I try to sponsor our local, well, our national organization to do their work in lobbying with our representatives of the state to make sure that we get better climate rules and stuff, because there are probably people who say, and they are our representatives of state, that say, don't nag, grab a drink and go into the pool. It's nice weather after all. Not me. And I'm pretty sure also not you. So my singles just broke while playing, and I don't even know where the end is. Like, where? What? Where were we? This is bright yellow, but there is no bright yellow. Is it this one? No, I think not. Found it. Only took me a couple of minutes. Now, before we continue our playing shenanigans, there is something important that needs to happen, and that is that we're going to clean Rachel. Because a friend of mine is coming by, and she is going to be the new adoptive mother of this wheel. I know, shocking. This is probably not what you've expected in this vlog, but I'm going to get rid, I don't like saying it like that, of one of my wheels. But I'm glad that she's going to a friend. It's just that I have not used her in years, honestly, and I'd rather see her being used, because she is a nice wheel still. So yeah, she's dirty, let's clean her. So just with a damp microfiber cloth, going to rub off all the remainders of oil and dust, 'cause that's probably what's keeping her a little bit dirty. Rachel here is a Werneking Delft, which is a vintage Dutch wheel. She originally doesn't come in white, but was painted by probably the previous owner. I got her from someone that already got her secondhand, so I really encourage a circular economy like this. So she can now go to another home and live another, hopefully, happy life, because I do think that this is an ideal wheel for beginning spinners, which is what my friend is. And I really enjoyed spinning on her when I was a beginner. But then, you know, my needs regarding to spinning wheels kind of changed, and I think the main kicker is that I got Gillian, which is a Louette S71, which is another Irish tension wheel that just spins a bit more smoothly. This is a heavy wheel. And so, yeah, she kind of got replaced by Gillian, and I'm so sorry, Rachel. I have loved you all the years that you have served me very well. But I don't use her, and yeah, as I've said, I think it's better that she gets used. Seems to be running smoothly. You'll meet our friend soon enough. Look, not you, but the wheel. And a moment of appreciation how remarkably different yet similar these are. Like in design, if a thing works, right? Yeah, I'm getting a little bit emotional over this, but this is the good decision. What a nice bobbin. That's like yeah, almost bobbin chicken territory. That's the first time that we've got this much yarn on a bobbin. Firstly, during Tour de Fleece, but I think also on this wheel. Suzie, you better get used to it. I like making chonguses. Let's see how much this is. So how many meters was this? Yeah, that's a chungus worthy 700 and... no, not 700. 479 meters, which puts our TDF total over the kilometer. It's clearly just a bigger skein than the others. These were like 70 or 80 grams, and this is 100 grams of yarn. 3 skeins so far. I love it. It's also like, I had expected this skein to be more chaotic, but it's like almost uniform looking. Yeah, it's like a tonal yarn. It's probably because the neutral pass is like a blend of everything, so that takes like the center spot. It's this one blended color of yellow and then just the different tones popping everywhere. I do think it is really pretty. Huh. What a day. Lunched at my in-laws. Gave some spinning demo tutorial to a friend. Did taxes. Finished plying a skein. Huh. What about we start the next one? Like the next skein, I mean. Like, yeah, I've got only one ball of roving left. Of course, we can do this. It's only 8:10 in the evening. Let's keep going. So this is our final ball of roving. It is another one of those more vertically, color situations, but I think a little bit more blended and just less chaotic as the last one. Even though, as I just said, in skein form, the chaos isn't all that present, so I think it's going to be even less present with this one. So yeah, that's a good candidate to eventually also ply back on itself, because this is what we have left on our neutral bobbin, which will not be enough for the entire ply. Evidently. So skein number 4 will also not be the huge chungus like this one is, but we have over a kilometer of yarn. This is going to be something usable for a project. It is lace weight, so a project with this lace weight will probably ask a lot, so maybe not a full sweater's worth, but yeah, a vest or something. Big gust of wind just stole my wool. Ah, why? But maybe that's a sign. That's enough for today. Also, just a quick berry saga update. Here is what we have today. I had a similar amount last Friday. I forgot to put that footage into the vlog because I filmed it with my phone instead of my camera. But yeah, it's getting harder and harder. Mostly because, well, that third heat wave once again. If I pass berries in the morning that I say off, well, they're not ripe yet. By the time I pass them again in evening, they're like all dark, shrivel and dry. Yeah. But that's the harvest we have today. So in the Tour de France, today is a rest day. In the Tour de Fleece, I am not taking a rest day. However, it sure does look like one, but that's not really voluntarily. I cycled home from work today and I came at the train crossing and suddenly there was a train. I know, shocking, but this one wasn't moving. So after a couple of minutes of just standing there, I decided, no, let's not do this and let's try another train crossing a village further. So I did 15 kilometers instead of 10 kilometers with my bike, which meant that it's late now. And I probably won't even have an hour to spin. But I will spin whatever time there is left. Because I'm not a weak cyclist. I'm a strong cyclist. I can cycle 15 kilometers and then go spin. Yeah. And I feel like I must apologize to the person I inflicted a jump scare upon by talking an entire sentence in Spanish. I feel like a lot of people from my generation in Europe speak a couple of languages, and well, I am nothing if not a streber, so I know 5. Not that I would say that I'm conversational in all of them, but I can understand 5 languages. Firstly, of course, mijn moedertaal, Dutch, and then the second official language of Belgium, the Français. Thirdly, and well, you know this, English. I'm pretty conversational in English. 4th language that I know is German. Not very conversational in German, but like basics, and same with Spanish. I did an exchange when I was in my junior year and I lived with a family that only spoke Spanish, so like crash course in Spanish. Those are my 5 languages. I can also read a little bit of Latin, but I can't speak it because nobody speaks it actually. I am confusion. I am completely misremembering my own fiber prep. I thought I had 2 chaos rovings left and that I had in total 2 chaos, 2 gradients, but apparently I only had 1 chaos and 3 gradients. I was completely unaware that this was another gradient. If I was aware, I would not have left this one as the last one, because it made more sense for me to apply a chaos roving or a chaos yarn together, because I don't have enough of the neutral. Yes, this is not going according to plan, but we'll continue tomorrow. I think I'm going to edit a bit now and see you tomorrow. So friends, I have over the past 3 vlogs forgotten to show you an important thing, and that is that I'm also doing a spindle project. I've been taking my Turkish spindle, this one over here, to work every day, and I've been spinning on it every lunch break. This is a project that actually I started, I think, last year during Tour de Fleece. I already have 2 skeins of this, and now I'm almost through what I had picked out, but I'm not sure if that is all of the purple fluff that I have, so I'm going to check my fluff fiber cabinet over here to see if there still is more purple. And if there isn't, then you must help me find a new project, because, well, I'm not going to stop spinning on lunch break now, am I? Aha! Found it! I knew this couldn't be the final bit. Still got all of this. Yeah. Okay, we can continue on our lunch breaks. On my little Turkish spindle from Studio Spintoll. I think that my turtle is almost at the max, but we'll see. I will now try to remember to update you regularly about this spinning project as well. And now to get back at the spinning project at hand. Now what do I have in hand? That is a snack. A very special snack. I've been sent old-fashioned hard candies by an American friend. However, I think it was really funny. While this is an American brand, I was, upon receiving this, 100% sure that the founder must have been Belgian. And I was correct. I looked him up. He was born in Ypres. Anyway, this is root beer flavor. I have never tasted this, so let's do that on camera. I might regret this, but I'm going to taste one as a snack while spinning. It smells very anisey. I like aniseed, so got my fiber, got my feetsies on the pedals. Okay, we've got the wheel turning, and let's taste. It reminds me a little bit of a traditional candy that we have here in Belgium. It's a different taste. But it reminds me of that traditional candy, Belgians, fill me in, the little black hard candy with the hammers on it. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, not bad, I like this. Now maybe I should explain for like a second why I thought that this was Belgian in origin, or at least the founder was Belgian in origin. This name, Fleece, that's the most Belgian name you will encounter. Because Fleece, I don't know how you Americans say it, but this is how it should be said, Fleece, is a Flemish name. It is a Dutch name when you say it, but it is written with French spelling. And that is the most Belgian thing you can encounter, because we had to choose surnames, family names, in the Napoleonic era. And then, and even later, all the scribes, like the clerks, they were Francophone. And this is why this has happened to a lot of family names here in Belgium, and why I recognized that Fleece was probably Belgian in origin. This is my list of questions that I have compiled from everything that you have been commenting. And I've kind of categorized them into different categories like spinning, fiber, dyeing, other crafts and stuff. And the previous two Tour de Fleece years, I have like also categorized them per video. This year I tried something different, and I just tried to come up with one of the questions while there was like a situation happening that pertained to one of those questions. I don't know if you found that more interesting than the grouped videos that I did the last 2 years. Let me know which modus operandi you thought was the better one. For now, I think, while I continue spinning this bit of roving, quick fire some questions from the random category. Because, you know, they don't always have like a situation that I can attach to it, because some of them are really weird and random, and I love them and I want them to get like a special place. If given the choice, would I rather be able to learn any language instantly or be able to shapeshift? Now, that depends. If I shapeshift into a Japanese person, can I then also speak Japanese? Or is that excluded from the question? Am I thinking too much into this? Being able to blend in surroundings? Like, there are sometimes I have conversations with friends or family and co-workers, and we say like, I want to be a fly there. Yeah, I do sometimes want to be a fly somewhere, fly on the wall. Just look at stuff that is happening and being unnoticed. So I'd say shapeshift for this one. If If I could take a 3-week vacation in any time, past or future, which year would it be? Now, I'm a little bit in dubio about this question. I think I would love to spend a 3-week vacation in the Neolithic, but also in the early Middle Ages. Actually, both for the same reasons. I think that both the Neolithic and the early Middle Ages is just such a calm and rustic period. Like the same reason people go on retraites or on silent retreats. Yeah, those are the reasons I would like to go to either the Neolithic or the early Middle Ages. Also, just people were crafting all of the time. I mean, that is my idealistic, romantic view on it, of course. But like, if you were a farmer or anything, you would just be spinning as well all of the time because you had to. Yeah, I don't know. But only for a 3-week vacation. And don't get me wrong, I don't idealize either the Neolithic nor the early medieval times as much that I want to live there constantly. I think from all of the time periods, I think that I should want to live constantly is this one, because of all the medical achievements and the freedoms and the rights that we have today. Like, the world is shit, but it could be far worse. Do I have a favorite historical figure? And then the poster says, I remember you saying you wrote your thesis on medieval religious women. Incorrect. I wrote my thesis on one specific medieval religious man. I wrote my thesis on Prince Bishop Odbert of Liège, and is he my favorite historical figure? No, but I think he is fascinating, so I'm still going to nominate him for this question. Like, Prince Bishop Odbert of Liège, I don't know, from what I gathered from the studies that I did for my thesis, he was a bishop with the shortest fuse ever that pissed so many people off, and then in the end also just went to fight battles. Like, he was a weird dude. Yeah, even, like, you have to situate him in the Gregorian reform, so there's a lot of people that are more like, no, bishops should be appointed by the Pope, and then others like, no, we've always appointed them as we did, which is by the German Emperor, we keep them at that. And so Bishop Odbert was appointed by the German Emperor, so everyone who is on the Pope's side is like, we don't like him, only because he was appointed by the Emperor. But also, everyone across the board, whether you were for the Emperor or the Pope, was like, we don't like him because he's a pain in the ass, and like, we know he's our bishop, he does his bishoply duties very well, but he gets so angry all the time. And reading that in like, holy flip, there go my questions. Anyway, reading that in like 11th to 12th century sources was hilarious, actually. Yeah, we know he's our bishop and we like him very much, but also could he be a little bit less angry? And last year I got the opportunity to see one of those 12th century sources up close, in real life, and that was, yeah, Gesta Abatum Tridoniensis. He's very unknown, I think, but having spent so much time with him in history, yeah, I've got a special connection to Prince Bishop Odbert of Liège. Okay, next up, what is my most favorite weird animal and why are they my most favorite weird animal? I think I'm just going to say my favorite animal because a lot of people think that it is weird that it is my favorite animal. I do not think that it is weird that it is my favorite animal because they are heckin' cool. My favorite animal is a bat. You know, a mammal that can fly. Can you name me a cooler animal than that? But also, can you name me a weirder animal than that? Yeah, probably you can. A platypus is really weird too. But my favorite is a bat. I love bats so much when they're flying and just bumping into each other and being all... Yeah, bats are so cute. Bats are sky puppies. I love them. Bats. Buddies. I love buddies. What is my favorite fiction book or fiction series or favorite genre? Once again, I don't like questions that ask me what is my favorite, because now I have to go around the entire catalog of books that I have ever read in my life, and that is just impossible. But a book that I have recently read that I liked a lot was The Lathe of Heaven by Ursula K. Le Guin. I don't know how to say her name, but that was the best book that I've read this year. So there you have that answer. Anyway, that's all for some random questions. Let's continue spinning, because as someone has pointed out, I stop spinning while I answer questions because I have to gesticulate so much. I can't talk without gesticulating. It's 8:30 now. I've got this much left of that ball of roving. I think it is time to edit this vlog, and then I'll spin this tomorrow. I might just spin it on the other bobbin and then have like two kind of equal bobbins. That will make it like just that much easier with plying, and yeah, maybe I just don't have to be stupid and ply this all on one bobbin and then have like this big applying bracelet. Maybe I just spin it on the other bobbin. Maybe we're going to be smart and intelligent. Maybe that's a plan. That's a plan for tomorrow, which you will not see on Sunday. I'm just going to put it out here. There will not be a second vlog this week because of reasons you will find out next Wednesday. But in return, I promise that next Wednesday will be an extra long video. Is that a good deal? Can we shake hands on this? Is that a dealio? Thank you for the dealio. No video on Sunday, but I will make an extra long one next Wednesday. Just like last year, I'm having a hard time knowing if I'm going fast or slow. Like, it's been a week and a half and I have these 3 skeins. These are lovely. It's a lot of yarn, but also I kind of felt like I would have been done with the yellow already. Like, it's like last year. I thought I would have been done with the Shetland much earlier than I did, but also I already have 3 skeins. I already have 3 beautiful yellow skeins of yarn, and like, there is not a world where that is not impressive. I'm just going to toot my own horn. I have 3 skeins. That is an impressive feat in 1 week and a half. Yeah, it is. I should not downplay my own achievements. I've got over 1 kilometer of yarn. Yeah, going to be my own hype master now. Yeah. Anyway, 1 kilometer of yarn is not much when you look at what the rest of Team Chaos Goblin has been doing. Like, oh my god, over 100 kilometers. And then, my lords, ladies and gentlethems, for today is next to, of course, Bastille Day, also International Non-Binary People's Day, so especially the gentlethems that I'm greeting tonight, and I will see you in the next video. If you want to follow along with the rest of Tour de Fleece or just like these kind of hybrid shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment
or subscribe, but of course that is all up to you. And as for me, I will see you in the next video, which will not be on Sunday, as I've said, but on Wednesday. Bye!